heroes from another time in an adventure for all ages. Exclusively on video cassette.
Dun, 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 dun. While everyone was out watching Jurassic World, I was watching Prehysteria. Think I made the right choice here. So Prehysteria has the distinction of being the first Moonbeam feature, which was the kid equivalent of Full Moon features by Charles Band. And this brings back a lot of memories. I remember I used to rent this a lot as a kid along with the sequels. Basically, the idea was this. Jurassic Park had just come out. Kids love dinosaurs. Kids love tiny things. Therefore, kids, tiny dinosaurs, profit.
Prehysteria.
So it begins in the South American jungle where the bad guy of the film, obnoxious slob, is looking for, the sacred junk.
The sacred junk.
He ends up going into this cave in search of the sacred junk and ends up coming across a dead body.
That gave me a heart attack.
Out of nowhere, dead body. And then the movie goes on like it never happened. Are we not going to talk about this film? Why? He's pinned to the ceiling. How did that even happen? Did the guy who said, "My ancestors cry out for your blood," did he do that? Is he just going around murdering people who try to steal their sacred objects?
The souls of my ancestors cry out for your blood.
It's not acknowledged. He finds some eggs in there, and he knocks out his tour guide / life threatener.
Hasta luego.
And ends up taking off with the eggs. One of the eggs looks like an avocado. The eggs, of course, spoilers, turn out to have tiny dinosaurs in them, and it's never really explained adequately why they are tiny. He asks the tour guide guy about it, and he only explains that the ancestors sent them those to ensure them eternal life. Our great god Charles Band said, "These must be tiny dinosaurs because kids love tiny puppet things." So our main character of this film is a little boy who has two interests: dinosaurs and Elvis. But they can't afford Elvis Presley songs, so he's gonna listen to some Elvis Presley equivalents, including the amazing Rock Godzilla song. Classic Elvis. He's joined by his dad and his bratty sister, and of course, because it is a 90s kids film, they have a dead mom who died of car canceritis. Their dad is but a poor raisin farmer / paleontologist, as you do. Because apparently this paleontology gig is not a lucrative business, so he's got to keep his great farm on the side. He finds some fossils out in the yard. This is just a normal thing. And they're gonna go to a museum to sell them. And the kids are tired of this paleontology gig. They're like, ugh, fossils again? Ugh, really? And when he goes to the museum, they're gonna cheat him. They're not gonna give him a fair price for his fossils. I would think there were other places he could go to.
It's still dino poop, Vicky. Usual price.
This museum is run by evil bad guy, who loves to overact, by the way.
My eggs! Where are my eggs?
He is joined by archaeologist woman, who is nice, but just has a bad boss, who is hit on by the dad. The sister thinks this is gross, but the little boy is like, lay off him, he's horny.
Leave him alone, he's horny.
While they're at the museum, they get their cooler mixed up with the cooler that has the Prehysterias in it. Because they left the dog in charge of picking up the cooler. Of course this was gonna happen. Who does that? The dog proceeds to take the cooler home and then hatch the eggs because her puppies were recently given away and she wanted to take care of them. And as everyone knows, dogs lay eggs. The little boy comes downstairs and finds the Prehysterias!
Tyrannosaurus Rex. The king. Elvis.
He He and his sister named them after various singers, like Elvis and Madonna, and Elvis is clearly the favorite. If I were the Prehysterias, I would be pretty pissed and pretty jealous of how this kid is treating them. These dinosaurs are just adorable. Charles Band has this kind of tendency to have creepy puppets that are supposed to be cute but are actually really scary for children. This is not the case here. They're actually extremely cute. It makes you want to have a little dinosaur as a pet of your own. And these dinosaurs are getting into all sorts of wacky shenanigans in the house, but they gotta keep it from Dad! How did they get some of these things out? Like, how did they get a cake out? Fingers are eaten, appendages lost. It's just a bloodbath. The Prehysterias are a terror. This let's keep the dinosaurs from Dad bit lasts about 5 minutes.
What the?
Back at the museum, archaeologist lady is talking to the creepy janitor named Whitey, who is possibly a serial killer?
Working late, Miss Vic.
Oh, God, why do you scare the bejesus out of me?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
What are you still doing here?
My job.
Evil bad guy is just going around acting like a crazy person this whole time, and comes in and decides to just strangle Whitey, which, to be fair, Whitey takes pretty well.
Call the cops! Oh!
I'm sorry, sir. I know. I'm fired. I'll see you tomorrow.
Boss tried to strangle me. See you tomorrow, guys. He keeps yelling about where the cooler is, trying to figure out where the Prehysterias went, and he chases archaeologist woman into the office, possibly to beat her? They just cut away and then don't tell us what happened immediately after that. A little bit later, they cut back and he's still threatening her, and she hits him over the head with a rock and knocks him out. The people at this museum have a very dysfunctional relationship. So this archaeologist woman decides to go to the dad for help. Like, she's like, oh my god, I think I killed him. I don't know, I need help burying the body. Please, help me out. Help me get rid of the evidence. And the dad's like, oh, well, good.
Well, that's good.
I don't know why he's so happy about that, considering, like, just before that, he was like, you know, we should probably give these dinosaurs back to that guy. Like, he's a far better person than I am, because if there was some asshole that I mixed up coolers with and I found that I had dinosaurs that could change the course of history, like, I would be selling them so fast. So fast. Wouldn't even think twice about it. Obnoxious bad guy shows up with a gun, which doesn't seem to faze the dad very much, who ends up getting the gun from him. And then the bad guy thinks he's going to sodomize him?
Turn around. Turn around and bend over. What do you think you're... Okay. Oh, God!
The sister takes off with her dumb boyfriend and is killed in a car bomb.
Those are bitchin' the threads, Monica.
Just drive.
So we spend some adorable time dinking around with these dinosaurs, but we gotta get the movie moving along. So the bad guy shows up with some hired goons to threaten them with guns, beat children, threaten to kill the dog.
Mr. Sono, you want I should plug the dog?
It doesn't go well, but at least the goons are hilarious with their comic relief.
I knew this hunchback in the 6th grade. You can imagine when this guy had it itch. Hey, oh.
They take off with the Prehysterias, and they decide to kidnap the archaeologist woman and the dog for some reason. This just seems to depress the dad, and he decides to just go about his day. Well, we tried. Let's pick some grapes and just do what we're gonna do. He doesn't seem overly concerned for any of the kidnap victims, and there's a lot to lose here. He's got a girlfriend, a dog, dinosaurs? The kids convince him that he should probably do something, and he sees a news article about a press conference, and that gets him mad. So they take off in the pickup truck of justice. And the little boy seems very excited at the prospect that there's going to be some murder going on.
You gonna kill him, Dad?
They team up with the serial killer, who apparently they knew. And the press conference is ruined. Wah wah!
I give you prehistoric life!
But they didn't set this up. Whitey set this up. And that's the climax of the movie. That's what saves the day. Our main characters did precisely nothing. They take the Prehysterias and everyone gets to live happily ever after, except for Whitey, who is still working at that museum for that asshole. I'm pretty sure that someone got eaten after the credits started rolling. Prehysteria is a fun movie. It's not as cheap as some of the other Moonbeam features are. I think probably because it was their first one that they were putting in a little bit more effort. The effects are really good. The stop motion and the puppetry are really decent for what this is. It's really adorable. It doesn't speak down to you like a lot of kid movies do, so I think it's worth a revisit, especially if you're feeling really nostalgic for the 90s dino craze. So yeah, check it out. Watch out for the Prehysterias.
Leave him alone, he's horny.